Most people think that when they get full hookups at a campground that all the problems are over, right? I've seen hydro problems, I've seen water problems, I've seen sewer backups in these full hookup sites, and sometimes it's not really that pretty. I can't control what happens in the campground, especially with power, water, sewer, and all that stuff. But what I can actually control is how my trailer is connected. So I'm going to show you exactly how I connect my trailer, and I don't run into problems if the campground itself is having problems. So I like to try to get my trailer plugged in as soon as I get set up in the campground. Of course, that's after I check the wiring, etc. with my RV surge protector, and you'll want to do the same as well. So get the wiring checked out and then simply plug in and get your batteries charging, because if you ever end up with a power failure in the campground, your batteries will be charged up and you're just ready to go. Get yourself an RV surge protector with the ability to tell you if the wiring at the campground is done properly. Can potentially save you a lot of money from plugging in and burning something out in your trailer. Now, before I connect my hose to the trailer here off the water line, keep in mind that a lot of these systems here at campgrounds are 80 to 120 psi of water pressure, which you don't need nearly of that in your trailer. Your trailer is usually not designed for household type of pressures as well. So make sure that you get yourself a nice little pressure regulator here. I find that when I have my water on, somewhere around 40 to 50 psi is more than sufficient to shower, to do my dishes. I'll put all of these things that I'm actually listing here in the description, so you can make sure that you have these particular items as well and that you're well prepared. You don't have to worry about overpressure if you've got this simple little gauge here, and they're fairly inexpensive. I like to run an inline water filter as well with the RV. I don't know what's happening in the campground. They might have bad water, they could have sediment, they can have, if you're running off well water, you don't really know what is there. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your tanks full of nice clean water. Another thing I like to do is make sure I get the fresh water tank filled up when I'm docked at a camp spot. And the reason that I want to do that is for one simple reason. If something happens to the water, or my water line freezes, all that kind of stuff, I can actually just turn my pump on in the trailer, and now I've got fresh water. Don't have to worry about it. When you connect your water line, make sure you inspect your O-ring and make sure it's good in there. And when you are fully connected with your line and turn on the water pressure, you shouldn't have any drips of water here. It should be nice and tight. We have our water connected. We've got our fresh tank filled with good clean water now. You know what? Things happen and you don't want to be caught without water. Those are a couple of the things that I do to make sure that I'm just ready to go. Okay, so do we have any tank strategy when we're got full hookups, right? Like, why do we need a tank strategy? Our tanks are not meant to actually drain full time. What I'd like to do is cycle my tanks exactly the way that I would do if I'm going to be running to a dump station, and I'll keep both of my valves closed. So the number one strategy that a lot of people get wrong is leaving the black tank valve open, right? You don't ever want to have both of your gray and black tanks open to a common line at one time, because one can potentially backflow into the other one. So we've always at least got that black tank closed off entirely from the system, and it's closed off from getting into your gray water. The reason that you leave that black tank closed 100% of the time, unless you're dumping, is one simple reason. Your tank is flat on the bottom. You start using your toilet, and if you're draining all the water out of that tank, what happens is you get an accumulation of, the crap that you're leaving there, and toilet paper and things like that, and it doesn't actually wash through. So by building up your black tank to 2/3, 3/4 of a level before getting that big whoosh out of the line, you'll save yourself a lot of headaches, and you won't have your black tank full of crap. So I'll give you a quick demonstration of how someone might actually set up an additional P-trap in the drain line here. It's quite easy. All you'd have to do is make your line come like this, so that the waste to come down, and it'd have to fight this gravity to get back up over here. So essentially this will stay full at this level here. You'll have that vapor preventing from coming back. So that is a strategy that you can use to put an additional P-trap in your drain line. The risk involved in that, though, is if the campground has an issue with their sewage system and it backs up, it can actually come back and fill your gray tank because your valve is open, right? That's why I prefer not to actually have my valves open. I'll just do everything in a batch system. Do it every couple of days. There's lots of capacity there to manage your tanks there, and it only takes a couple minutes. So like I said, if you don't have to worry about what's happening at the campground, your rig is safe and you don't have to, you can just enjoy your day. So we put a lot of investment into our trailers and stuff, right? And when everything's isolated from the camp system, etc., I can just go on with my trip, do exactly what I went there to do in the first place, and that was to enjoy myself. So hopefully you've been able to learn a couple things here, and you'll be able to enjoy your trip as well. If you've gotten something of value out of this video, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next Fix It.